Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name is Vadim. I'm, as Anna mentioned, I work as a CTO at GodPhoto. It's a SaaS product for photography businesses, so we support photographers in their business and make it more efficient. About myself, I have software engineer background. I have worked in different companies, software engineer a lot, and also in different technology stacks. And of course, in my last positions, I have taken over more and more leadership tasks, have built up a couple of teams, was even responsible for product, but then came back to engineering. So I'm an engineer guy. This is more my world. Yeah. And then now I'm at GodPhoto since 2 years. This about me.
Okay, I'll do next. So I'm Nicolas, I'm French, living in France and working for, I used to work in Switzerland for 15 years now, and now I'm working from home for Swiss and international customers. I'm a recruiter and a sourcer. At the beginning, I'm a psychologist, but I never practiced. And yes, I'm really into sourcing, scraping, and tech recruiting. And I'm a father of two kids as well.
Oh, thank you.
And I think like sourcing recruiting is already partly practice in psychology, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Outreaching people and thinking out of the box of what you could say to them to be the one they will reply to. Yes, sure.
Okay, I will continue then. My name is Alexey. I am tech lead in Creator IQ. It's also a SaaS product for influencer marketing agencies. Also, I'm a team lead, and we've built several, not products, I would say, like applications in our big ecosystem, and also I'm doing technical interviews. I'm not a psychologist, but I think team leading and managing people is also some kind of practice, especially help them grow, solve their problems if they have such. So yeah, this is my experience. And of course, I'm software engineer. I started as software engineer and I like engineering. So I understand Vadim, why he's back to writing code. It's always exciting and how to say it, inspiring. Yeah, so that's about me.
And you know, our world are not so different because I'm a recruiter. I've been leading teams for the last 5 years, and I was kind of missing the data scraping and the finding people on the web and doing OSINT and stuff like that. That's why I decided to put aside the management things and come back to the data oriented sourcing and recruitment. So I can understand.
Yeah, when you start managing, you always miss doing something with your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, you're mostly. I can tell you my own experience. I was leading a team. It was not a big team, but a team of 5 people, and I was training on monthly basis teams around the world onto sourcing and recruitment in Germany, in Luxembourg, in Swiss, in Vietnam, which was good. But when I was doing my job in Switzerland, 80% of my time I was spending managing some crap and some messy situation and political things and trying to keep the level of the people up and not doing my job currently.
Yeah, it's a good point. Thank you for sharing, Nicola. I think it's like close what we like our main topic that developer thinks that they may think do good code, create good code, and people, oh my God, I on interview for doctorate, for example, I have a guy, very senior, very smart, but company decided not to hire him because he said, like people wasting his time. So I like coding, and oh my God, meetings, I have to communicate with someone. And it was like just example. And so my question is, it's not only engineers, maybe it's about a person who think, okay, it's my main things and I'm good in this and I like this, but all the things about people, and like they're so strange, everybody behaves, they're not like programs. What to do with them? Maybe you can share your thoughts or your experience about this.
I can share my thoughts and my experience. There are people like that, but I think engineers tend to have such attitude more rather than other professions, because engineers work with something predictable, like their code, and they know like the input, the output, etc. And with people, it can be much harder for them because you never know. People have their own thoughts, wishes, desires, etc. And yeah, but it's with engineering, I don't know. We talked with Maria. She told me the topic of our session today, that like how to work with people that have strong hard skills and weak soft skills. In my experience, it's very, very rare to find people like that. I don't know why, but for me, engineering is also working with people, because you need to share information, you need to know what to do, you need to discuss things, etc., etc. And it's hard to have good hard skills without with zero soft skills, as my in my experience.
Okay.
I don't think if you don't mind, I don't think it's really zero hard skills, but if I have to share my experience dealing with it was mostly IT engineers, so developers, infrastructure, cloud, and so on and so forth. When I had the position, when I needed to help them grow, because that was part of the job as well, as an HR manager, to provide them with some plan to develop themselves in terms of hard skills, but as well in soft skills, to make them become, if they wanted to, managers or architects or something like that. Anyway, to have to provide them with a career path. The main problem I saw with really strong, hard-skilled people is they did not see the interest in developing other things. And my job was more to make some awareness with them, to make them understand. I can share you one story. One guy was really strong in C++. He was really a boss in C++ in our company and in Switzerland. And my job was more to tell him, okay, you're a boss in C++, but more and more companies are switching from C++ to C# or to something else. What will you do in 10 years? If you don't grow now, if you don't evolve now, what will be the next step for you? So it was not really a job where I had to make them really evolve, but make them being aware that they need to evolve if they want to stay in the business.
Yeah, I agree with you, and a very, very cool example, because many years ago I read article, it was some research and about engineer soft and level of intelligence. So they have very, very high level intelligence, and usually like typical, as I said, I know about C++, it's especially true. I need to ask our engineers why, especially C++ guy, and they, as soon as they understand that they need to develop soft skills, they start to work, and they're usually very good on it. And we have even some friend who was, and still I think QA, and he worked hard on developing his soft skills, and now he's leading team, etc., and really changed himself. So maybe it's about not lack of skill, but like ability to willing to change something, willing like understand that I need to improve it. So maybe yeah, it's harder to persuade person.
Yeah, maybe I can also speak from my experience. I think I also agree with Oleksiy. It's actually pretty rare that people really only have hard skills and no soft skills. Yeah, I think it's about the engineers themselves, because different situations where you need to apply soft skills like meetings, discovery work, and so on. There, engineers look at this often as a context switch for their main work, is implementing system, their code, and that's why they're naturally pretty efficient, and they think, okay, it's something bad because I'm getting out of my context and I need the time to get back. But actually, when you start to talk about, to explain why we do things, and actually moving engineers also closer to the business or in front of the business, yeah. So it's not just coding is just maybe 40% of the things that we do. There is a much more that you need to do to create a very good product, a successful product that also brings value to our customers. And then when you start to involve engineers into the processes and not keeping them in their comfort zone, yeah, like just dropping Jira tickets on them and awaiting some sort of code output, this is very small part of the job, yeah. This is just a result, very to the result. When you take them at the very beginning, at the definition of requirements, even in the interviews with the customers and so on, you see just another effect of this. They're actually engineers are normal people. They actually enjoy very much working in the teams if the team setup is good enough and if they see the value in this. Yeah, so it's just they have this switch. But if they don't understand why I need to do these things, yeah, I'm actually being paid for coding, yeah, then you will not get through it.
I got you. Thank you, Vadim. Yeah, and I remember how fast you changed mindset of development team, because they think like understand them more about business, why it's need to be done for business. How did you do it? If you can share with us, because it was less than a month, I think in 2 weeks. Behavior, me as a recruiter, I saw they became very responsive. The same people, giving good feedbacks, understand that recruitment part of the process and not just distraction from normal coding work. And they really like start to play their part. I was curious how you were able like to change their mindset. Like, just explain them, or I don't know. Yeah, what's the trick?
Yeah, I would say it's a normal leadership practices, as simple as it sounds. It's hard to actually to do consistently. Basically, yes. So you need to be transparent and explain why we do the things. Yeah, it's not about dropping the word on the people, but also involving them in why. And when you explain it well, people are just naturally bound to this and want to participate, even it's more than just coding. Yeah. Also explain expectations, why these expectations are important one. For example, in your example, this was more about proper communication, proper filling out the evaluation forms, yeah, in our recruiting software, etc. Just to explain the value behind this process, yeah. And also for us, we were in growing phase, and we have seen that engineers, yeah, we need more hands, yeah, more people on board actually to develop our product further. And it was pretty easy to motivate them. It was just more to explain why this process is important, yeah.
Okay, I got it. So like to summarize, thank you for sharing. Like the main tool is just explanation, and I got it.
And I guess it's related to the topic itself, how to evaluate hard and soft skills and tech skills. Because when I was doing recruitment inside a consulting company, we did have a lot of steps. First interview with the recruiter, then like a coding game in whatsoever platform, coding game or HackerRank or stuff like that. Then if the code was if the test was good, interview with the technical guy or girl, and then interview with the hiring manager, who was mostly a commercial guy, trying to put the people onto client side. And what I saw and what's really related to what Vadim just said is when you start an interview, HR interview with the tech people, and you say, okay, the next step is a coding game, for example, people massively tend to make a step back and say, oh, okay, either they don't have time to do that and don't see the opportunity for them, or maybe they can just think, I don't want to be evaluated in such a platform because I don't want my data to be in there, or there can be many reasons, but the key point is really to make them understand why it is important for them and for us, and why it's really a way for us to evaluate on the same level and the same basis each and every candidate, not to judge them, not to finger point them. So it's really, communication related and awareness, again, to me.
I got it. So do you mean like in this way, you check how person responds you, and you can evaluate their like soft skills, also how they change their mind, how they.
I was more talking about hard skill, but for soft skills, for example, a lot of companies are using other tools like Assess First. They are quite huge in France. I don't know how they are in the other countries, but there are a lot of. I will take my psychologist hat. There are a lot of tests existing in the world. You don't have to be a psychologist to pass them. MBTI, HBDI, you had a lot of testing on the web. The only thing to me, and each and every time I had to implement a testing phase onto my recruitment and hiring process, I always ask myself a question and ask my hiring manager a question. Okay, what should we evaluate, and how this tool will help us in the decision-making process? If it's just to have like a parachute in case it doesn't work, it's not worth it, okay? And it's the waste of time for everybody. In the example of hard skills, I like to use coding tests. It can be exercise or coding game or pair programming, not just to put people in cases, in boxes, but more to help the tech guy or tech girl, after all, to prepare his or her interview, because that's really easy for us recruiter to prepare interview. We make scorecards, we just have a look on the CV and let's roll it. But for people who are in the tech all day long, I guess Alexei and Vadim can confirm, it's really hard to make an interview to somebody you don't know, because that's not your job. Recruitment is really a job. So every time I asked a candidate to pass a coding test, I really told them that will be a good way for the people who will interview next to know your skills and to be able to discuss with you about your test. So it helps everybody.
Okay, it's interesting point. So it's more about like how be more human, like for recruiters, from your side, just evaluate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think about it that for engineers it can be a bit of stress exactly have this conversation, and I know maybe Alexei, Vadim can share how it was for them when they were juniors. I don't know how you placed interviews.
I didn't have many interviews actually, because in current company I work already for 8 years. So 8 years ago, but overall, for me, it wasn't that much stress. But I see this tendency that Nicola just explained from engineers, that they tend to avoid or avoid technical interviews or being like I don't know, unexpected. They don't expect coding interview, coding part of the interview, despite the position is about coding mostly, but still, it's for some reason it's unexpected. So we started to recently we had a massive, like I would say, aggressive recruitment. We tried to hire a lot of people in a very short time span. So we started to tell them, okay, we will have this technical interview, we will have this coding, live coding, because people sometimes even they refuse. They just say, okay, I don't want to do coding, live coding, sorry. In current market, it's more rare. It happens rarely, simply because there are more candidates than positions, I believe, nowadays. So they understand that they have to, and simply, yeah. But when it was situation was a little bit more sweet for candidates, when there were more positions than candidates, they could afford to say like, okay, no, I don't want live coding, sorry. And that's it. Yeah. It is I see, so for me it wasn't stressful. I mean, it was a little bit, of course. It wasn't like a regular drink a cup of coffee in the coffee shop. It was a little bit more, but still, yeah. I see that for candidates, it's a little bit stressful. I can assume that probably it's because of someone assessing them, assessing their skills. Yeah, and from my standpoint, from my position, I try to make myself not look very judging when I'm on this interview and assessing someone's skills. So I try to make it less stressful for them, but still, yeah, for some reason people nervous a little bit. That's true.
And thank you for sharing. And what question do you like to ask, or you don't ask specific question to relate if this person can be a good team member, his communications, etc.?
So I have two different experiences. So when we had recruitment on a regular basis, so basically we always had open positions for software engineers, and we just constantly were interviewing people just to find good candidates, good developers who could join our team, like, as Americans like to say, A players. So we tried to find people like that who could join and contribute and be beneficial for us, and we could be beneficial for them. But there was another experience when we had a really short time span and we wanted to hire as quickly as possible. And these were two different types of interviews, I would say. So when we had this recruitment on a constant basis, we tend to talk with engineers, some theoretical knowledge, some discussions about technologies and about their preferences. Why would they prefer one technology over another? What benefits they see here, what benefits they see there, etc., etc. And we had a small part of interview as a coding, as a live coding. But now, simply maybe because there are too many candidates on the market, we figured out that when we approach interview like this and we start, when we come to coding part, we figured out that some people just cannot accomplish simple things. And we started, so it was very surprising for me, but people were like talking about technologies and having these discussions, and they sound very proficient, and they were very confident in talking about technologies. But at the point when they had to write several lines of code, they started struggling, and we discussed that and decided that we should not. And we had a very ambitious project ongoing with time constraints as well. And I mean, me and another guy on the team, another lead. And we had like 2-3 interviews a day, and we could not afford to spend 1 hour for each candidate. And in the end of the interview, figure out that they struggling writing code. So we decided to put live coding in the beginning and simply, okay, let's have a short introduction. This is 5 minutes about us. Tell 5 minutes about yourself, and then live coding. And we ended a lot of interviews like in first 15 minutes. And that was and that was a good feeling because we did not waste time. But we hired several people who were knowing what they are doing, who were confident in their coding skills. And actually, if person is confident when they are coding, they are more than 100% probability would be confident in theoretical things. So yeah, this is my experience.
Great. Thank you, Alexey.
In my experience, I have also at Godphoto have gathered a very good experience this another type of coding interview. We actually also do similar to your Alexey, so we also start first introduction, then actually jumping straight into the some sort of practical task. And what we have done, and I think it was a pretty good journey. We do not expect to write a lot of code. We actually review code, review existing code. And why I think it's also a very interesting alternative, because first of all, you do not set under pressure the people to write a lot of code. We basically give opportunity. Here's some sort of crappy code. Let's talk about this. Yeah, what would you find in code review? Yeah, which is important for you? Yeah, basically this is the question. And some people actually, for them, it's more natural to talk about this and just guide us through. For other people, they take 5 minutes and write the code. So actually, we have even such a possibility, such choice, yeah, for different people. So pretty inclusive, yeah, solution in this sense. And which is also when we coming back to soft skills, this is actually a very good opportunity to check for the soft skills. Because then you have some sort of stimulation of daily activity, because we have also engineers in the interview and they talk about the code. Yeah. And then for me, it's also pretty interesting way to check for soft skills, because you do not ask strange questions. Yeah, where engineers try not to get out of their comfort zone, like tell me your 3 bad things about yourself. I don't know, something like this. Yeah, what engineers maybe do not like. But here you have a real situation, and you need to interact with other engineers based on the code, based on actually on the things that the engineers love the most. Yeah. Plus, they need also to show hard skills. They need really to find the problems, or to talk about some code design patterns that should apply. So this was, I think, pretty also interesting experience. Not to ask directly, yeah, questions around soft skills, their soft skills, but like having the concrete situation where they should show something. And then I could ask also other engineers, what do you think about? Could you work with this person? This will be also for engineers that evaluating candidates. It's also easier, yeah, than to say yes or no, and not based on some abstract questions. Yeah.
Yep, sounds great. It sounds like good decisions that mix evaluation 2 things, coding skills and communication skills. And we like in Christmas time and like to end conversation, I would love to suggest maybe to make some predictions about the future. How do you see how it will change in the future? Will we like people who make hiring recruiters, engineers, leads, CTO demand engineers be more and more like super with soft skills or more with I don't know, hard skills, or I don't know how it will can look in the future. I don't know, maybe weird, maybe funny prediction, maybe only ChatGPT will do all coding and will hire only office manager to bring coffee to sysadmin who need to charge ChatGPT. I don't know. How you see the future?
But that's a great question. Of course, nobody can really predict the future, but when we're talking about 2023 expansion, huge expansion of IA, not only ChatGPT, but Bard, but Midjourney, DALL-E, and Poe, and everything. I've had a long discussion with an hiring manager a few months ago. He told me that he didn't know if he should. The case was he proposed a coding test. You know, kind of thing. You have a vending machine and you want to write the code for the machine to always give the right money back and not spending all the 50 cents, but always spreading the right amount of money and of coins. That's the kind of test you can do in each and every language, so that's good to propose. And he told me, okay, I used to ask to my candidates to write this. They can do it at home. I give them 48 hours. That now I do have a problem because I really don't know if they are doing them by themselves, or if they are doing it all by ChatGPT, or if they are doing it by themselves but correcting the code by ChatGPT. What should I do? He told me, and I think my prediction, the teams will grow with more and more people able to use AI in their daily work. So maybe, and Vadim and Alexei would be really more experienced and skillful than me to tell, but from now on, maybe the right test is not to see if somebody is able to write a full JavaScript hello world, but to see if he's able to find the information to do so. So, because maybe having the knowledge to write a full code, thousands of lines without bugs, without a comma missing, etc., is not the right skill set. The best skill set is to use that knowledge to do better things, and you can let it to the IA or something. I don't know, but that's my prediction. More and more companies should introduce AI into their hiring process, into the process internally, and not focus on the fact that, okay, you did it with ChatGPT or you did it by yourself. But anyway, the fact is you did it. So, and if it works, it's good enough. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Nicolas.
We had one interview. The guy, so we gave him an exercise, and he said, "Okay, we want to do it the fastest way, yeah?" We said, "Yeah." And he started asking ChatGPT on how to do a loop in array, which is the most, I would say, basic thing for a developer. Yeah. And at that point we said, no, sorry, that's enough. Because person still should be able to have hard skills good enough to be able to determine if AI gave him a good code or bad code.
Sure, you're right.
Yeah. But I agree with you that slowly but surely AI will we will have it more and more in our work. That's for sure. And one of the skills would be how to distinguish how to understand what was written by AI and what was written by human, including resumes, code.
That's a good thing to, and you pointed out right. I think we can predict, and that's quite a sad prediction, but we will need less and less junior developers. We will need maybe more prompt engineer junior able to manage GPT or AI task, and more senior people, architect and reviewer, to challenge what has been produced by the AI. So people will have to evolve, in my opinion, or else they will need to grow a farm and plant some carrots and potatoes. That's a sad prediction. I said it, but yeah, you're definitely right. AI is full of mistakes. Moreover, if you're not aware of it and of what you can or can't ask it. But yeah, what's the value if I talk about my own career? What's the value now for a recruiter to write by his hand a job description? What's the value of spending 2 hours in writing a job description when you can have a 30-minute meeting with the hiring manager using MetaView or Nuta or AI recording things to evaluate the discussion and then drafting the job description if it's right configured. So that's really the point to me. It's to see the opportunity to not be doing the not valuable task and focus on valuable task in each and every job.
Yeah, it will definitely save a lot of time. Sorry, Vadim, I want to finish my tell my point. I think that we will have more and more AI in our jobs. I think it's obvious for everyone, and for me also. I think that there is no such a trade-off like more hard skills or more soft skills. You cannot trade hard skills for soft skills. You cannot have a developer with good communication and bad coding skills. He's not a developer. Maybe he's a manager or someone else, but he cannot be called a developer without. So hard skills is, I think it's a must things to have, but maybe even some soft skills would go to hard skills. So I mean, hard skills is something that you cannot avoid, that it is must have. And I believe and I hope that there will be more and more people with our development of psychology, psychiatry, etc. People would be more aware. People would have better soft skills, and we would just have a higher requirement for that. This is my opinion and hope for the future, that more and more soft skilled people would be evaluated on the market.
Yeah, I will also join. I actually agree to Nikolai and Alexei. For me, I think it's regarding prediction or way in which direction it goes. It's 2 points, 2 main points. The first one, yes, AI is nowadays pretty hype, yeah, but I would say in the engineering, it's nothing new in sense of what doesn't bring, yeah, because actually, if we look how all the tooling that is being done for developers, like our development editors, static analysis of the code, test coverage, plenty of tooling. So we're already optimizing the coding since a lot of years. Yeah, AI is the next leap, its next possibility to optimize the coding time, so writing the code. Yeah, so it's of course it brings even more efficiency. Currently, I think it's research shows around 10-15% more efficiency. It's not 100%. Yes, so of course it's very hyped topic, but actually doesn't bring us 100%. Yeah, I would say then it's a revolution. Yeah. But actually, it's around 10-15% of what AI brings in engineering for the coding. Yeah, it's the next stage and the next tooling. And but in general, we're optimizing since a lot of years. Yeah, already exactly the writing of the code and validation of the code. Yeah, and there are different possibilities for this. Yeah, this is first point. The second point, which was also mentioned, is the coding itself is being like this is the main thing that is being optimized in engineering. So it takes less and less time, and that's why it's again about soft skills and other hard skills. It's important for all candidates to understand where actually they should pay attention at. Yeah, so coding alone is not a issue, is not a challenge nowadays. That's all the tooling we have. It's actually maybe was a challenge 50 years ago. Yeah, that's why there was also like maybe waterfall models where you had the handovers, you had the people only coding, people only design, and so on. Nowadays, coding itself is not a big challenge anymore. Especially in small and mid-sized companies that cannot afford experts only for coding, experts only for design, maybe architecture, and so on. Yeah, we need more generalized people, and that's why. But also here, important for candidates to understand that which skills they should develop. Yeah, to be successful on this market, and that's coding is just very small part of this. And also interesting fact which I have read is actually there was a comparison regarding code quality for junior people using ChatGPT and senior people using ChatGPT, and actually outcome also output from junior people was even worse code than they would write themselves. And for senior, of course, then it's more efficiency and better code. Yeah, so it's a gate. Please, candidates, learn your basics. Do not apply ChatGPT too early. Understand the basics, yeah, which Alexey also mentioned, yeah, this concrete example. And afterwards, ChatGPT will be your optimization, but actually, you should learn the main thing. And we as a hiring manager should check for this, yeah.
Good. Thank you for sharing with me. Very paradoxical, but yeah, so ChatGPT just make worse what your small fails, and yeah, if you're senior, if you know how to do it, just do what you ask to do. Nicola raised hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that I fully agree with both of you. And sorry, Alexey, I interrupt you lately. So yeah, really sorry. It reminds me, I started working 15 years ago in recruitment, and it reminds me a few steps actually, like historical step in recruitment in tech. The first one is the expansion of GitHub for developers. And when I started, there was not really a big use of GitHub or Stack Overflow, depending on the stack you are on. And when it arrived, we have had the same discussion than we just had about ChatGPT. Should we allow people to use GitHub internally? They will lose their skill set. They will just copy paste the code. Okay, if we allow them to use, we should just cut the internet off. That's the first thing. Then there was the apparition of tools like Sonar, Sonar Source, Sonar Cube, and Sonar Lite, and other tools for code validation and so on and so forth. And it was the same discussion as well. Okay, but if we implement such tool, it's great, but don't we have the unluck for the people who are working for them to lose their skills because they will just rely on that kind of tools? And yeah, that was what I wanted to share. It's all the tech world is in constant evolution, so we have to embrace the change, but most likely to think about it and just use it wisely, as you just mentioned, Nadim and Alexei, not just asking ChatGPT to do a loop in an array. Okay, so just get out and come back when you've been doing your cycle in bachelor, just learning how to inner join, outer join, that's kind of thing you don't have to ask ChatGPT, but maybe to review your code, to propose you some improvements and so on.
No,
Parenthesis closed.
Yeah, no, I just love this conversation, and I'm so grateful everybody who found time on morning, Wednesday morning to join. And thank you for participants, and yeah, we're grateful for speakers. Thank you guys. It was very interesting to listen to you, and I wish you have a great day. And we'll have record as shared with you later. So thank you again for your thoughts, for really sharing your thoughts, your emotions. So I would say it was a mix of hard and soft skills right here on the call. Yeah, and yeah, have everybody just have a great day.
Thank you. Happy holidays,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.